So, as we load in, what is your prediction for this series? 2-0, 2-1, and who to?
I don't want to be biased, for one thing, and I also don't want to give away my bets on the Dingit site. Because I want to win. I don't think I can win. I did it for fun.
Bets can't be changed, surely.
This is true, but I don't want to give them away. But no, I don't even think I'm allowed to win. Either way, I'm doing it for fun. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, spawning on the left-hand side in the blue trunks, it is going to be Gamers2. And pretty much all grouped up in the mid lane, it is going to be ADRD on the Sergeant Hammer. Nika is playing on the Valor. Zaichu is playing the Diablo. Hidden behind Zaichu is going to be Zhao on the Kerrigan. And Leo from Korea, aka Leo from Korea, but he's now out of room, is playing the Ufa.
And on the side of SK Gaming, they're just grouped up as 5 in the mid lane. Zarmany on the Tassadar, Bakery on the Janus, Snitch on the Sylvanas, they're switching it up this time. Araragi on the ETC, and Rave on the Brightwing.
Yeah, and we do see this quite a lot, where we'll see Bakery and Snitch switch around who's playing what. The two assassin players from the UK do get... They practice a lot together, spend a lot of time chatting, and like I said, they do spend a lot... They do flip around quite a bit.
They're basically the same person.
If you have spoken to them, which you have, you know that is not the case at all. Both really cool guys, however. Now, though, both teams did try the 5-man rush in the mid lane just to push down the minion wave. SK Gaming were able to clear up the wave a bit better, but they were a bit slower getting to the rest of the lanes, and as such, we actually see Gamers2 come out a little ahead in terms of XP, and Rave gets comboed so hard, absolutely annihilated. Zhao is on the run though. Araragi's going very hard, and he takes down Zhao, and now it's Leo from Korea turning around onto Araragi with the help of Nika, but that was a 1-for-1 trade. In comes Brightwing to rejoin the fight, but what a kill on that Brightwing. The Diablo tackle into overpower, into Kerrigan pull stun, absolutely amazing combo.
Just melted Rave completely. He couldn't do anything. There's now Araragi trying to go onto Saichu here. Trying to get some damage down. It's getting slowed up by Bakery. Overpowered. Then headbutted back. Is this a repeat? Zhao missing the stun, however, as Araragi's going to be able to get out of this one. It's interesting that they've left ADRD to solo lane at the top against Zarmany, who, of course, has the wave clear, has the storms, and if Hammer does decide to siege up, then the storms just do so much damage. Yeah,
and we're seeing this ADRD, who has way better auto attacks, trading pretty much evenly with Zarmany, who is just technically a support. Zarmany, getting the vision here, is not going to be able to get control of the tower, but ADRD has yet to grab his fountain, yet Zarmany healing back up to full health straight away. In the bot lane, however, SK Gaming relying on Snitch as their pusher, and this bottom lane of Gamers2 is much weaker than the bottom lane of SK Gaming, but SK Gaming very much roaming around with this a lot, and Snitch, we're even seeing him there, jumping over walls. Araragi been separated out, there's the first stun, and they get the second stun off, and down he goes.
Just so much CC that can be changed here from Gamers2. You've got the Hammer of Justice from Uther, you've got, of course, the Dragon Stun from Kerrigan, the Knock and Flip from Diablo, just so much on 3 heroes that it's really hard for SK to try and deal with this. You've got to really expect Brightwing to take the cleanse at level 7 instead of more healing.
Yeah, and I just had a quick peek at the chat, and I'm assuming that they were talking about the 5 versus 5 fight in the mid lane. You may see the pros do it, but this guy is 100% right. Don't try this at home. You will die and miss XP. It happens a lot, even just not in regular games. Araragi getting overpowered. He immediately turns around onto Zhao and Nika. They are harassing Rave, but Rave is able to back up. Araragi going very hard onto Zhao, but he's going to be able to escape. But no, they turn it around. Araragi taking a lot of damage. There's the speed boost out of Rave, so Araragi is going to be able to get out of here. And Bottom Shrine has once again gone back over to Gamers2. They're actually going to get Top Shrine as well, so we're already seeing them group up mid to try and grab it, but it's too late. Rave has already gone onto this Bottom Shrine and will take it back and prevent the Dragon Knight from being lost. Snitch was already there, denying as it was.
Yeah, Zarmany was actually forced away from the top lane as well. He took a little bit too much damage from ADRT, and look at this. Tank just sitting there doing his thing onto the tower, but has taken a lot of damage, trying to trade back onto Zarmony. or
Popping
Zarmany.
first aid straight away. Like, instantly hits level 7, instantly pops the first aid so that he can trade efficiently.
Bot lane, Snitch is low, trying to get away from this one. Going to be
He's
able
out.
to actually escape. Nika, though, he's out of mana, taking a lot of damage too. Damage now being traded onto Zaichu.
Yeah, and no one died somehow.
No casualties, yeah.
Somehow no one died in that entire fight. But we can see the level 7 talents out of the rest of Gamers 2. We already saw the first aid being used. Searing attacks, very standard nowadays, out of Valor. We have the adaptation out of Kerrigan, which is just good for escape. You need to be able to escape sometimes. And she doesn't actually get much until level 13, where she does get the option to sprint. Leo from Korea being forced away here. Speaking of Leo from Korea, he did take the cleanse standard. And we have Diablo going for full tank, 150 souls. Bakery is out of position here. He gets body blocked from Zaichu and picked off. It is now Rave who's being focused down. There's the Envenomment. Rave goes down 2. And that is a 2 for 0 in favour of Gamers 2. They're going to be able to grab this bottom shrine. They have a level advantage. And this will give them both shrines so they can attempt to get the Dragon Knight. But they're not sending anyone to mid lane to reinforce Nika here. Instead, sending Zhao and Zaichu to grab their Siege Giant camp. And in the meantime, Zarmany's in the top lane, just neutraling out that shrine just to guarantee no Dragon Knight.
Yeah, so the reasoning behind this Siege Giant grab here is that they can actually just leave Leo down here with the Siege Giants and then put 2-3 bodies in this mid lane to try and force Snitch away. And that's what they're going to try and do here. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Diablo try and get onto Snitch and combo well, just to try and stop him. There it is. Grab, stun,
yep.
boom.
Oh my god, they are so good at that. They have had a lot of practice at this, you could see. ADRD still pushing the top lane, just sitting right in front of the gate, and is just blasting Zarmany with napalm whenever he sees him, and is blasting away.
This was actually something I expected to see based on the 4 and 7 talent from Kerrigan. That she's gone to summon Ultralisk instead of Maelstrom. Because Maelstrom's such a long cooldown, you usually see, well, if someone's going Maelstrom at level 4, they'll take Fury of the Swarm, so their basic attacks cleave, and then level 7 you take Battle Momentum, just to get Maelstrom off cooldown so much quicker. But if you're going for the early game damage in the Envenom and the escape in the adaptation, then you tend to go Ultralisk to increase your pushing power and making sure that you've got your heroic off cooldown.
Yeah, and speaking of the Ultralisk, Kerrigan did use it there to help pick off Brightwing. Zarmany was able to escape. Kerrigan going back to base to get some mana. First Dragon Knight going over to Gamers 2, already used up a large mana of its duration, taking out both of the towers in the mid lane. Nika will now rotate bot lane and take down as much as he can there as well. And you'll see this most games where players will basically just go for the towers, as if you push too much harder with a Dragon Knight, there's a chance that when it expires, you could instantly get turned on and killed. Whereas if you grab all the towers, you're guaranteeing the maximum amount of XP for the minimum amount of risk.
Yeah, and of course, if you do step underneath that fort, it's going to start slowing your speed, slowing your attack speed. And as you said, it's a risk that teams just generally don't want to take. And we're going to rotate now back towards this mid lane, try and get this gate down, and then apply some more pressure here. In fact, they're just going to go straight onto Rave because they can. Luckily,
good blink heal.
He has blink heal.
Yeah, just in time. Like, Kerrigan was set up, and he blinked just as the Ravage came in and was able to escape. Sorry, Primal Grasp came in. Really solid there out of Rave, but now he needs to move in and try and help Zarmany. Zarmany turning around, he's already Archon, he gets stunned, he's still alive. Aragi stage diving in to help. Zarmany's just getting focused out so hard, but now Zaichu's in trouble. He has enough souls, so he will revive. But, oh, Zhao, he's going to escape as well. This Water Elemental not giving up, but it will go down to towers. But SK barely coming out on top in that fight, able to chase away Gamers 2. Gamers 2 also barely getting out alive. But Diablo, with that 137 souls yet at the time, is already back, and he's already soaking back up. He's about halfway to another revive.
Yeah, there was something in this top lane that just made me chuckle a little bit. Rave came up here, got the polymorph onto ADRD, but he'd already used his thrusters, so he saw a crab with thrusters.
Yes.
An interesting one. As Tacita falls down in this bot lane, I believe it was.
Yep, I believe so. There goes the body disintegrating. Bakery currently starting on this Siege Giant camp on his own. Snitch is coming in to help as well, and he gets the Black Arrow off onto both of them. Deny that, and with the help of Araragi, they'll take that down with minimal effort. Having a look at some of the level 13 talents out of Gamers 2 here, we can see that they are running the Frost Shots on Valor, just the standard stuff there. Sergeant Hammer is going for Giant Killer. It's on the next level that they can take Executioner, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe so.
Sprint out of Kerrigan, giving her that second escape option. Down goes Top Fort to ADRD. Shrink Ray out of Ufa needs to take down some of those higher priority targets, like Bakery, like Snitch, maybe ETC if he's right up in your face, as he has been this entire game. And we have the extra range on Shadow Charge out of Zaichu, which is just going to help the combo Gamers2 have been pulling off all game go off even better.
It certainly is. As Gamers2 grab this bottom shrine for themselves, going to fall back to grab their own siege camp as well. Hammer going to try and trade with Araragi here, and certainly can come off as the stronger hero, just forcing him away. Going to reclaim the shrine.
Block only box 2, Araragi. You can't trade with a hammer for too long in that situation.
And especially with Giant Killer as well on the auto attack.
Exactly.
Just so much damage.
Indeed. Gamers2 grabbing bottom shrine. That puts both in their control. And we're seeing them head towards the Dragon Knight. Nika is going to try and grab Bakery. Doesn't land the Ice Lance. That gets blocked by Zhao. And they are able to begin their push.
They are the second Dragon Knight off the game, and it is towards Gamers2 again. And Diablo going on to Rave. Not able to follow up with the Kerrigan because of the blink heal. As now Araragi just trying to force Nika away here with the Dragon Knight, dodging out all of the skill shots coming out. Going to be punting Rave away as they now try and grab this keep because there are no towers
abilities
left
in the game.
Oh,
Nika,
yes.
Like you said, Nika moving on to the fort, just going to push it hard, but now that the minion wave's here, they're just going to back up, use Napalm and the Fire Breath to push forward. Diablo goes in, Apocalypse only lands on 2, and Snitch able to micro his way out. In comes the stage dive. SK used this opportunity to try and turn. The silencing arrow did land, but nice Divine Shield onto Diablo to prevent the stun going off. Very nice out of Leo from Korea there, and this is going to allow all of Gamers2 to get out. Very solid.
Yeah, really nice disengage from them, and they've still got this 2-level lead behind them as well, as they look to go and grab the tower and the fort. Presumably, as soon as this Dragon Knight expires here, it's got 2 seconds left on it. And there we go. We see a Valor pop out, so their siege damage is going to increase, but Araragi looking to come back in here. Power sliding in, knocking ADRD back. Both heroes taking a lot of damage. ADRD grabbing the shield off of Rave. It's a 2 for O so far. 2
double
for
ice block.
Rave gonna blink out here. Only has Bakery for a shield. They're going to try and get both of them, in fact. The Ultralisk going on to Bakery, getting slowed up, however, as is Nika and Zaichu.
Again. They're going out as a 3-man group. We saw an amazing play there, but in comes Nika, gets the slow blink heal, goes out. Zarbany is going to get blink heal from Rave. Nice bait there. Just ran backwards. Everyone instantly turned around. He just blink healed back, and they all escape. And what we saw there was the double ice block dimensional shift for the 3-man survival in that fight there. Really nice play out of SK. They did, however, lose that fight. They were only able to take down Sergeant Hammer, but the fact that they were able to keep so many people alive in that fight was just an amazing play.
Yeah, and I think we're both in agreement on this when we say that Brightwing is probably the most mechanically intensive support in the game because of plays like that.
Yes, very much agreed. So, Brightwing for now. Just gonna be going with the rest of SK here, just clearing out the bot lane. They've got their Siege Giants, but one was instantly killed off by Gamers2, who did just roll their way in here. And now they're just going to take down the Siege Giant in this bottom, the last remaining Siege Giant in the bot lane. ADRD gonna siege up. He has got the Hover Siege, so he's just going to shuffle his way forward. He really doesn't care about that Psy Storm. Just going to shuffle his way forward and help take down this fort. He did not take the Executioner, as we can see. He did, like I just said, go for the Hover Siege.
Yep. They see ADRD roll in. They are probably hating.
Indeed, just like, he's out of range. But everyone from SK is alive. ETC is, well, he's just chilling. He's just going to grab the top shrine and see what he can do down there. He does have stage dive up. There's a stage dive behind. Doesn't really hit anyone, but the arrow does. But wow, just immediately turned on. And Bakery gets hit, but no, he doesn't. Improved ice block used there. Going to try keep himself alive, but nope. The rest of his team had to get pushed back, so Bakery was out on his own. Snitch and Rave going to be able to survive here and back up. But that was very good by Gamers2 there. Instantly turning onto Araragi. The stage dive did not land. The arrow from the wailing arrow coming out of Bakery there did land, but it wasn't enough. Nice ice block out of Rave here, but Snitch is not near enough for the blink heal, so we're going to see Rave go down as well. I think they will at this point.
Yeah,
there's actually no cooldown. No,
safe.
Yeah, I was about to say ETC is just about to come up. Jaina is also quite near. ETC would be able to delay enough for Jaina. Snitch still has decent damage. It's much safer for them to back up, start grabbing shrines, start grabbing mercenaries. They don't want to take an unnecessary risk.
No, and I don't even think they'll be able to grab the Dragon Knight here. We see Joey and Leo grabbing this bottom hard camp after grabbing the shrine. Valor and Hammer taking the siege camp away as Diablo's going to have quite a bit of resistance. Really nice bait coming out from SK. Araragi face melting him away. There's no power slides coming just yet. Zarmani's coming in, however. They're trying to slow Zaichu down here, but just not able to.
I don't think they knew he was on his own, so that's why we saw the face melt first rather than the power slide. But this does allow the top shrine to go over to SK Gaming. However, Gamers2 not caring. It's like, alright, you want to group up there? We're going to push everywhere else. And now that they've taken down a fort for basically for free, now they're going to regroup up and get ready to fight SK. And they've already found Snitch.
Yeah, they are going to get on.
And he's gone.
So quickly. He's surviving for now. Finally gets taken down due to the Ultralist. There's a strafe coming in here from Nika. ADRD is also doing a lot of damage. Sylvanas and ETC already fallen. They're going to try and turn onto Rave here. He is near a minion wave, and he could blink to it if he wanted to, but he's just going to fly his way out of that one. But you've got to think this is Dragon Knight now for Gamers2.
Yeah, Brightwing also cleansed, Rave also cleansed himself out of the overpower there, so he was able to get out of that without being CC'd more. Very nice play there, but ADRD helping his Siege Giants here, just dropping some harassment onto the members of SK. Rave just going to roll in here and try and drop some harassment with the combination of his shield and his blocks thanks to his dust ability, his pixie dust ability. Chasing onto ADRD, ADRD having to back out and pop first aid. Rave going to blink heal away, does not want to get caught out, but Dragon Knight's available. This is going to be the end attempt out of Gamers2.
It is Stage Dive, however, coming in onto ADRD here at the back line. He is going to get taken down there. Got chilled up as well. Araragi now coming into the back line, knocking Nika back in.
Nice silence.
To do something. Getting silenced. A lot of heals coming out from Leo from Korea, however. Zaichu doing a great job at peeling Araragi away. Brightwing now on the front line as well, looking to get a polymorph off onto someone. Zhou, however, in this back line, just auto-attacking everyone. Doing so much damage. Not going to be able to get a punt off as Araragi went out of range. Zaichu, though, getting chilled up as well. He'll now fall. Leo low. Nika out of mana and getting even lower. And again, this punt just not coming in for the Dragon Knight.
Yeah, Dragon Knight struggling a bit here, and SK Gaming just choosing to ignore it completely. Rave, that was a bad place to be. Back up. But Bakery did take the numbing Roots talent, which roots targets that are hit by Frostbitten for 1 second. So that's what we saw there, and that is basically what allowed them to turn this fight around. They were just giving chase, able to slow with his Frostbitten, and then freeze the root the chilled target straight afterwards, and they've basically completely negated this Dragon Knight. Got a couple kills for themselves, and this is SK's chance to begin a comeback. They have a tiniest amount of map presence, but while Sergeant Hammer arrives back for the rest of Gamers2, though, still just grouping up, looking for their opportunity. SK Gaming, all they can really do with this, with their map presence, is clear and grab this Bruiser camp, which is what they're going to do.
Yeah, and speaking of slows coming out of Bakery here, you've also got the Face Smelt level 13, and that's a very dead Rave, but the ETC, face melt slows by 80%, it's just adding some more CC. Grab that onto ADRD and he's a little bit, well, a lot less immobile. Lot less mobile. I'm having trouble with words today.
Yeah, but we saw that coming out earlier. Like you said, it was very effective. It's a very slow, heavy composition. Like even Brightwing has taken the sticky powder on the polymorph to get the extra slow. So the only way they can have more slow basically is if Sylvanas took the slowing arrow and if Tassadar took the slowing storm. But however,
and if Brightwing took 13 as well, sticky flare.
The sticky flare indeed. For now though, SK have been pushed back to their core. Without Brightwing, they're having to play super defensively. And ADRD just using that to his advantage. It was ADRD and Nika here, both taking the Nexus Frenzy. Much more effective on Sergeant Hammer when it comes to taking down buildings. But Brightwing is now here. There's the stage dive onto ADRD. They're going to go for a nice Divine Shield. ADRD able to get out instantly. Apocalypse does land on quite a few. But so far, no deaths. Araragi being dropped very low. Zarmani going straight onto Nika. He's just going to Dimensional Shift out though and protect himself. Wailing Arrow lands onto 2. And this fight will continue. Zarmani has been separated out. He's already used Dimensional Shift. Down he goes. And there it is. That's Gamers2 going in with the strafe, picking off pretty much everyone. Snitch trying to get out. Nice bolt of the storm. There's the blink heal. Snitch is dropping solo, but down goes Rave. And Snitch is on the run. He's going to be able to get into his core, but it's not going to matter because Gamers2 are now just going to go for the core and get the game. And, well, Snitch is going to attempt to deal with this, and they're actually being forced back. They're very low. Snitch getting separated now. In comes Nicker with the slow. Down he goes. It's up to Bakery. He's on his own, trying to clear up an entire team here. And they're all so low, but it's not going to make a difference without any help. Down he goes. And that is the first game going over to Gamers2.
That was a really, really nice prediction there from the Kerrigan. Bolting onto Snitch meant that if he activated his jump again, he'd die. And if he let it go, he'd also die.
Yeah.
Really nice from Gamers2. Again, though, SK, they had some moments of magic, but their early game and mid game really let them down. They didn't get a single Dragon Knight. Gamers2 had 3 in total, and I don't even think SK Gaming were able to push any objectives at all.
Yeah, like they were able to grab a shrine or two. They didn't get any forts, I don't think, like you were saying. No, I don't. We saw them play well, like you said. They had a couple magic moments, like that fight near the end when Gamers2 had the Dragon Knight. They were able to push in very, very hard and just basically ignore the Dragon Knight and get a couple kills. It was great chase. You can see exactly what their comp was meant for, but it didn't make a difference in the end. Gamers2 were just too far ahead at that point.
Yeah, they certainly were. So again, I believe we're going to go to a very short break this time around because, of course, we're between games rather than being between series. So guys, stay tuned and we'll bring you SK Gaming versus Gamers2, game number 2, in just a little bit.
We'll have to see if that makes a difference. So I will put my money. Tell you what, I'm gonna make a prediction. I will put my money on SK winning if they get first blood. Tell you what, there's my bet.
Okay, there it is.
I will make it conditional.
But I forced you into an answer. I honestly think that right now, SK Gaming are... Their heads probably have dropped a little bit. They've lost 3 maps in a row, and they're now on a map which they lost on in the second game with Team Liquid. So, honestly, I have to feel like Gamers2 are going to just snowball on. They've got the momentum on their side. SK aren't looking too great. They're going for a Sonya pick here again. Their front line's okay, but it's not brilliant. However, the saving grace in my eyes for SK Gaming right now is the fact that if they're able to pick off Malfurion early on, especially in team fights as well, then they can snowball their chances and win the team fight. But
yeah, this is why I say this is why I go for the first blood, because this is definitely a momentum composition out of SK Gaming. And the first blood's not going to be irrelevant because early game kills actually aren't that relevant in terms of the late game fights and the temples kind of stuff. But I'm just going to give that, if they can get the first blood, I'm going to go, yeah, I'm going to trust SK to go with their momentum. Nice dimensional shift out of ADRD. Going to be able to get out and actually prevent that first blood that would have made me put my money down.
I'm still looking down this bot lane. Joey playing very passive, then goes on to Snitch. Ooh. Maybe a little bit too soon or too late. They're going to try and get this first blood here.
Snitch just getting out there. But that's an issue of playing Illidan in a lane versus 2 ranged carries.
He didn't even realise Joey was there.
No, he got very, very heavily ganked. We'll have to see how well he does once he gets his health back and tries to trade with Nika a bit more. But early game, Nika's going to look quite well. Aragi went very heavily onto Leo from Korea, but Leo from Korea, once again, able to get out. Still no first blood in this game. Rave playing pretty far back as he was once again 2 versus 1. And SK Gaming playing very, very far forward in the top lane. Need to be so careful because we can see Zhao and Zaichu on their way. Aragi has gone round to the watchtower as he was able to see Zhao coming up. But so far, no first blood either way.
Aragi using that spear to grab on towards ADRD, jump towards him as well. Zabi going to probably try and get a stun off here.
No, it was out of range.
Not going to force it, yeah.
Yep, having a look at talents. Fairly standard stuff out of most players, except for we're seeing the block on Uther, whereas most of the times we'll see Conjurer's Pursuit.
This has actually become pretty standard on Uther at the moment. Yeah, I mean, the past 3 games of Uther, they've taken block at level 1.
I completely missed that. I am out of date, it seems.
I know as soon as the patch notes came in, Bakery wanted Tank Uther to be a thing, but it never really materialised, so block's kind of like a happy medium.
Yep, that is fair enough. Alright, so right now, we are seeing SK Gaming taking control of the middle lane shrine, whereas Leo from Korea just able to hold the top shrine. And that's a thing we see a lot of supports doing, just tanking the Guardians rather than killing them, because they all do die once all the shots have been used up anyway. But now, numbers advantage is about to go over to Gamers2 here at this middle shrine. Araragi going to spin his way out, and in comes Bakery to even up the numbers again. And SK will grab the final shots from this temple. Gamers2 just going to re-split themselves up and begin heading back to lanes.
And of course, there's the fun fact of the day in action. Because the middle shrine goes towards the tower before it goes to the fountain, you get more XP from grabbing the mid temple than you do the top, because the top of the fountain is in the way. It's 400 XP. The SK got, the Gamers2 didn't, as they try and get onto ADRD for a little bit more in there, but not able to materialise.
Yep, and we're seeing something that's become a lot more common over on the side of Gamers2. Tassadar taking the Mental Acuity talent, which reduces the cooldown of Oracle by 15 seconds, which is 1, a hell of a cooldown reduction, and 2, very solid for the extra vision that they're going to need from SK Gaming, seeing as in the mid to late game, their comp's going to be very gank heavy.
Yeah.
And I'd like to point out, still no first blood, so I'm still impartial.
Jaina Tyrande Uther is just going to be stun and burst.
Don't forget
that's
Sonya.
What it's going to be.
Sonya's going to be joining in on that too.
Yeah, of course, but you're going to have the Tyrande leading it, then Uther coming in, and then maybe if Sonya's needed,
if she's there,
yeah,
she's there, she'll join in. And Adiardi going to be backing away from Araraki. Araraki get a little bit of harass off. Actually, he's going to follow in nice dimensional shift once again to dodge the stun from Zarmani. And Araragi pretty much already knew it. We saw him backing out there before that did go down. And we're also seeing the Mule out of Tyrande, which is definitely a map-focused pick. We even see it on the Malfurion on the other side. And you could probably explain better than I can why the Mule is such an important thing on this map.
Well, we all know how much damage the temples do to structures in this mid-fort. In fact, no, it's going to go down towards bot lane first, so these mules will start to heal up these forts and these towers once they're getting used. We're not actually saying, in fact, yeah, we are. One of them did just fall. It was trying to heal up the towers in the top lane, but it then, of course,
died.
The towers disappeared. Yeah, exactly. Temple is up in the bot lane, 5 seconds until that one activates. Snitch is all alone down here for now. They could try and just poke him out before going on to the temple. It looks like that is going to be the job of Saichu. As now Rave joins, trying to get onto Nika here, but he's going to use his little bit of an escape there.
Yeah, and to put a bit more detail onto the whole mule thing, the whole point of it's the same reason it's on black carts. The temples are guaranteed damage onto buildings. The more shots any building tanks, the less go onto all your others, which is why we see a nice stun out of Zarmani there, hitting 2. But yeah, the more shots that go into one building, the less go onto all of your others, which is great. Araragi getting stunned, he's going to spin out of there. Snitch going very heavily in, going to get knocked back by the face melt. And now Snitch going to be moving in and holding on to this tower. The Gamers2 team backing up, getting Fountain if they need it, and getting ready to head back in. Once again, a double stun out of Zarmani, being very solid there. Snitch going to back out, giving once again the temple back over to Gamers2. But they're looking for their opportunity. They're looking for their chance to pick someone off. Snitch now rolling back into the temple. We're seeing temples just traded back and forth. Nice dodge from the stun, but Zarmani being dropped very low. He's getting chased down. There's the cleanse out of Rave to save him. But we do see Snitch go down instead, as Rave had already used his heal and cleanse onto Zarmani.
And will Gamers2 grab the boss off this? It's unlikely they're just going to try and grab.
Yeah, there's an easy 4 here. Grab
yeah,
that first.
Easy 4. They could get the tower as well, and that's exactly what they're going to do for the extra added bonus XP. Araragi rotating up towards top lane, doesn't care for the watchtowers, just want to push this lane out and get even more XP on the board. Heroics, though, are now in for both sides. Pretty standard across the board. Just seeing what Sonya takes. I assume it's going to be Leap. I can't see it being anything else.
Yeah, the damage is nice from Berserker's Rage, but Leap is just so good for the engage and the CC options.
Yeah, there it
and
is.
Yeah, the Leap, pretty standard. Like, a lot of heroes here actually can have the variation in their heroics, which is cool, but we just don't see it very often. Nika gonna be using his ability to get out, but there's the Leap! Nika's going down, and that is a kill. Zaichu now being dropped pretty low as well. He goes down as well, and SK now gonna be giving chase, trying to get Zhao here. And Zhao is going to be able to get out, but there's a Divine Shield was used on Snitch there, but Snitch doesn't care. He also got cleansed just in case he got stunned in that fight. And we'll see SK back away from this fort, but nice engage there and able to get a couple kills.
SK did also force out 2 heroics from the side of Gamers2. The Archon was used at the end there, as was the Tranquility, which means they can keep pushing this one on.
SK did use all of theirs, though.
They did indeed, but that was...
I think
there was no pressure on Gamers2 to pop the Archon at the end there, or the Tranquility. They could have just fallen back, given up the fort, and that would have been it.
Very true indeed. SK getting a bit of control here, and I have not put my money on them due to the fact that Gamers2 were the ones who got first blood, but this is what I was talking about with SK's roster. SK's comp, sorry. If they can get a good amount of momentum going, there's a very good chance that they could take this game. I'm a man of my word, I cannot put money on it for this one.
Well, we can see here now that they're grabbing this easy cap. Top Shrine is up alongside Bot Shrine. We're probably going to see Gamers2 try and contest this Bot Shrine with Saichu jumping in with that stage dive, of course. But it looks like for now they're just trying to push out and push the wave back, gain some control, and then they might go for this.
Yep, Zaichu just guaranteeing that they get all the shots from top. They are currently a little bit behind XP, and when they do fight, they'll be down a level. It's not a huge difference, but it's a tiny little health and damage buff that could give SK a fight. So we're not going to see Gamers2 play unnecessarily risky. They've got a guaranteed full temple. They're not going to just throw that advantage away that SK is giving them for free just for a chance to try and fight SK in a temple they already have control of.
Yep, last 5 shots. Luckily, one of them did go onto the tower that was on minuscule HP, so that was some nice XP back there for Gamers2, giving them that level 13 as we see the talents come in. But this aggression from SK is perfect from them, grabbing the easy camp. They haven't spotted out Zaichu yet. They could try and get onto Araragi here. The snare is good. ETC is going to stage dive in just behind everybody, unfortunately, as the Archon...
Being careful, the Divine Shield has been used. He is going very hard. Araragi being dropped very low. It is the problems that he had last time. He's trying to heal himself on the wall. Bakery being dropped low. He does have the sprint. He will be able to get out. Unfortunately, Tarande did not take the sprint. She will go down. Snitch and Rave, however, will likely be able to escape. But that was a 1-for-0 for Gamers2. They're able to pick off Tarande there. And because, well, like I said, she didn't take the sprint. She took the overflowing light, which you were talking about earlier, is why Tarande's heal gets very mental in the later levels. But it removes pretty much the only escape option she has.
Yeah, she then kind of just relies on her self-heal and her stuns to peel for herself, and of course the Starfall. But that was a... the stage dive could have actually been a little bit deeper there from Saichu as well, just to knock Araragi back and guarantee at least 1 kill, rather than having to really battle back and forth to try and get that 1 kill in that fight. As SK now power on forward, grab vision for themselves, and they look to actually move on to ADRD here. They are going to dismount Araragi, and they are going to be able to also secure this hard camp for themselves, which will start pushing top. But we could see another fight ensue here.
In fact, it is quite possible we will, but SK just backing away, backing into their own tower. This is where they want to fight, if anything, because they will have the favourable angle, as they will be able to see where their opponents are coming from. And going back to the healing that we mentioned on Taranda, you mentioned that she might not be more than Ufa. She actually does currently have 4k more healing than Ufa, which is exactly what you're saying. Much more impressive, just underestimating the amount of healing Tarande's coming out with.
I'm just putting that down to Uther not dying yet, so he can't use his trait perfectly.
I would agree. That sounds exactly right. ADRD, back it out here. Doesn't want to get picked off. He already shielded himself, not using his dimensional shift, just saving it.
Look at how deep Zaichu is.
He can see everyone, he can split push, he has Echo Pedal, he has Stage Dive, he's just going as far as he wants.
And he's got a big minion wave behind him too.
Exactly, so he's just pushing very hard, just getting as much XP as possible, so he can then join his team. And you can see his team has finally got an XP lead. There's the leap though! 3-man leap onto the team of Gamers2. Nice ice block coming out of Leo from Korea. And in comes Snitch. He needs some heals. There is the Divine Shield onto him, but he doesn't want to get rooted, and he's not. The Divine Shield holding up long enough. Zarmony goes down again to Ronda with no escape, just not enough healing to heal herself here. The only person going down in this fight for the second time.
And look at this, Gamers2 reclaiming this shrine for themselves. It is going to go on towards this mid gate and towers as Gamers2, they're not done yet. They're looking for more here. They're trying to get onto Snitch and Rave, but they're just going to split push. These towers are more or less out of ammo. And when you have a Sylvanas, you can just disable them, get some XP on the board, and they'll probably rotate towards the mid lane or maybe just stay up here as a 5-stack or 4-stack.
Yep, and an interesting talent choice coming out of Gamers2. It's one of the only 2 options on the level, but we usually see Blood for Blood more by Sylvanas on her level 16. This time we are seeing the Cold Embrace, which is still an incredibly good ability. It's one of the 2 options of what is taken. ADR is getting instantly demounted by the owl there, very amusing. But the Cold Embrace is just huge amounts of extra damage as it is a chain vulnerable ability, which is very good. The Blood for Blood taken more for the burst damage and because it does give you that little bit of healing so you can survive a bit longer in the fights. And Aragi going in does not land the leap and he's just going to get instantly strafed on. And Zhao not going to go too hard though, just going to back up here and let SK kill off their Siege Giants.
Yeah, heroic for heroic there as they're trying to get some damage down onto Snitch in this top lane, but of course he's Nillidan. He's going to escape out of that one as SK have regrouped as 5. They look to move towards the bot half of the map. The boss is certainly an option. We haven't seen either team gravitate towards it just yet. ADRD does get spotted out by the owl that sails on past. As now he mounts up, and Gamers2 really look like they want to seek a fight here at least, or maybe just push SK back.
Quite possibly, and both teams playing a bit cautiously here, sticking to their own side of the map a bit more than we've seen for the rest of the game, except for ETC, who's still doing the standard ETC thing of split push the other lane until a fight happens and then stage dive in. That Echo Pedal seriously helping him clear the minion waves. Aragi camping here, he may be able to get a burst kill. He's going on to ADRD. In comes Snitch as well. They are going for the kill. There's a Starfall as well, but that's not in a good position.
Stage dive.
Yep, stage dive into the backline. Hits where the Wailing Arrow does as well. Fight continues. Snitch taking a lot of damage. Needs some heals. He's pulling his evasion, but he's dropping very low. He gets Jowl though. The fight continues. The Divine Shield went onto Araragi. Snitch continuing to fight. He goes down, but he takes down someone else in the meantime. And now we're seeing Leo from Korea dropping very low, but he shields himself. He will get out. And Zaichu and ADRD will also likely escape here unless... Oh, there's Dimensional Shift. Yeah, they will be able to get out as well.
Just about a 2-for-1 trade there in favour of SK is, of course, keeping them in this game. They are still a level behind, but it's good old Shrine time. There are 2 up, as Gamers2 actually look like they want to fight this again. ADRD dodging out 2 stuns there, the Spear and the Lunar Flare. Or do SK want this boss? It looks like no, they're just going to try and contest this
where they
Shrine.
were moving through. Like I think they expected Gamers2 to move to bot lane, so they were going to try and fight it, but they now see Gamers2 are in the mid lane, so they're going to move over here as well and just take control of the shrine. And this is what you do when you have more people alive. Follow your opponent, follow the opponent's team, and just make sure that they don't get anything for free. You follow them around, kill them wherever they are, and just steal their stuff. However, doesn't really work with an ETC, as he's just going to sit in the bot lane and soak anyway.
He doesn't have stage dive up for 15 seconds, so we won't see Gamers2 engage on this just yet. Seems like SK are aware of this because they can tell how passive Gamers2 are playing. They're trying to get onto ADRD here. Has to pop that Dimensional Shift early on.
Yeah,
There's now 5 seconds left.
Yeah, we are seeing both lasers will very soon be going on to Force. No, actually the Keep does not get attacked at all from the SK one. And it's not actually going to get... It will actually get a couple hits out of the Gamers2 one. So Gamers2 actually coming out a little better. Leap did come down, though, from Araragi. He's taking a lot of damage. He gets rooted. There's the Divine Shield to keep him alive. Zarmani and Araragi backing out. Snitch being dropped very low as well. And they've got very little follow-up for this. They don't have enough healing. ADRD going very, very hard here. We're seeing SK backing up, trying to get some heals off. ETC has rejoined his team. Zhao not giving up. There's the cleanse onto Bakery, but it's not going to be enough. He goes down, and Rave goes down as well. And this is what happens if you push up too fast. Sometimes you will just get caught out.
Yep, and there is still, I believe, 6 bullets left. Yep, 6 shots left in the bottom shrine. Gamers2 are now level 20. They're going to grab this boss, and really, they could, in theory, look to push for the win here. The bottom keep has already taken some damage. It's lost about a quarter of its HP. And when you've got this boss pushing down there as well, with some tower shots going off as well, That's the keep now on half HP. And in fact, just to add insult to injury, they're going to take the easy camp away. Just they have an insane push down here.
Yep, there comes the mule out of SK. They do still have 3 members alive. Snitch will be able to be back in time to maybe defend his core. I doubt he'll be back in time to defend the keep. He doesn't seem to care. He's just trusting his team to do it. They're probably not going to be able to. Level 20s are available for Gamers2. We have the upgrade to the Wailing Arrow out of Sylvanas, which is the defeating blast. Hardened Shield and ETC for tankiness. Archon upgrade on Tassadar. Bolt of the Storm out of their Valor, and the Storm Shield out of Malfurion. ADRD just doing a little bit of harassment onto this middle keep. Not going to get too much. And Gamers2 not going to push with their Golem. The Golem will get a good amount of core damage, but Mule is available. That will be used, though, on the keeps first to try and reduce that damage that way. Gamers2 just heading out to the rest of their map. ETC's in the top lane, clearing out the Bruiser camp taken by Snitch. The rest of Gamers2 just dealing with this siege, just grabbing their own siege giants.
Again, right now, though, Gamers2 really don't have to force anything. They are ahead. They have the lead in buildings, but it looks like they are definitely going to force this onto Araragi. The stage dive coming down, Leap being used to get away from this one, Blizzard being used to slow people down. ADRD, however, doesn't really care for slows as he enters the void. As that stun, however, should, in theory, stop this approach from Gamers2. It's Shrine time yet again here, and in theory, if Gamers2 would CSK commit to these shrines, they could try and go for an end, but they're going to play it safe. They don't want to do anything stupid. They know they're ahead. They can just try and grab one of these shrines for themselves. We'll have to see whether SK try and contest this as ADRD pops the dimensional shift yet again.
Yep, and SK Gaming, they have also hit the level 20s though, so they do have a chance if it comes down to a fight. Bolt of the Storm on to Jaina here, just for that survivability. The Ignore Pain out of Sonya, which is basically Hardened Shield. We have the Demon Form out of Illidan, and the Redemption coming out of Ufa. Rewind is going to be the talent from Sonya. We're probably going to see a fight in this top lane as they've basically run out of areas to avoid each other in.
Yeah, and again, ADRD just on this front line, just being a distraction. Leap is good onto Zhou, however, he's going to have to bolt away. Is going to get a good strafe off, however, with some good shields getting stunned.
Oh my god.
Morph's coming in on top of the Starfall. ADRD using his dimensional shift yet again, has to heal up. Zaichu and Leo trying to escape from this one. The ice block already been used by Malfurion. Zaichu has very little left trying to escape this. Cooldowns are not on his side.
If SK Gaming had got a couple kills there, this could have been game for them, but Gamers2, they survived so well that now this game is still basically anyone's. SK is going to be forced to back up and just start grabbing temples, but for a 4-man team of Gamers2 is still more than capable of actually fighting the comp of SK, but not if the ADRD goes down like that. ADRD actually go for a much more safer build. He actually took the deep shift as his level 7. Snitch being forced to back out here, gets a heal from Bizarmony, which is pretty nice thanks to the wonderful overflowing light talent. And we're seeing another fight. Zaichu is going to be the one engaged upon, but Snitch may have gone too hard here. He goes down. He did get cleansed, but it's not going to make a difference. He didn't get enough healing. Zarmony also backing out, and there comes the stage dive. Now Zarmony separated from his team. He gets a shield, but it's not going to be enough. There's the face melt, and Zarmony goes down, and now SK is in serious trouble. Araragi getting focused down by Nika, using his leap once again to try and survive. Nika is giving chase. The core is under assault by some catapults. Araragi is going to be able to escape, and SK just going to start killing off these catapults. And Gamers2, they're just going for it now. They're just going to go for this mid keep. They have Valor taking care of this temple, which will help them get it. This keep is guaranteed dead, and with 2 people down, they're just going to keep going.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to go for the third keep just to play it extremely safe so that they do have pressure in all 3 lanes should they not be able to finish, as it looks like they're going to be grabbing the top temple as well, which will go directly onto the core. There are no other buildings left, but it looks like Rave is going to get caught out a little bit. Divine Shield having to be used by himself here.
Bit of a miss there on that Wailing Arrow. Wailing Arrow missing absolutely everyone, flying into the back line and finding no one. However, Gamers2 like I said, are still going to be able to take control of this top temple. Need to have grabbed it a little quicker because mid temple got a couple shots onto the fort, but the shield recharged. But they are now here, and those shots will start going off. SK need to react to this, and we see them all coming up. But Gamers2 really nice. Instantly react to this, just like, okay, we see SK head straight for the core, and we're seeing Tyrande coming straight back. Rave and Snitch are coming back as well. Zaichu should probably come out here and try and prevent them from being, but they're still going to get free shots off thanks to this temple. And Gamers2, now that they forced SK to back, they're also going to back up, try not to die, and just let ETC get the free shots off onto the core, get some free damage out. And Gamers2, thinking about turning around. ADRD's very out of position. There's the leap. And Leo from Korea uses Ice Block to keep himself alive. Stage dive. ETC has joined the fight. And Zhao got his full strafe off as well. He's fighting Araragi in the backline. Bolts out of there. But they've been able to take down 2 already. It's 2-1. Currently, Rave might make it 3-1. No, Rave actually able to survive. But instead, Gamers2 just going to turn around and go for the core. Bakery is alive. He's going to try and get ADRD or Nika. Nika gets rooted, and Nika is going to go down eventually. There we go. But it doesn't matter. No, he survives actually, but it doesn't matter because the rest of Gamers2 were able to kill off the core in the background. And Gamers2 also come out with a 2-0.